Welcome to Season 4 of E-commerce Fastlane. This podcast helps resilient entrepreneurs thrive with Shopify. And now on to episode 210.
You're listening to E-commerce Fastlane, the podcast show to help you build, manage, grow, and scale a successful and thriving company, powered by Shopify. Listen to real conversations with partners and subject matter experts as they share proven practical strategies, platforms, and the best Shopify apps to help you accelerate your business. The time is now for you to improve efficiencies, grow revenue, profit, and lifetime customer loyalty. Please welcome your host, startup founder and strategic advisor, Steve Hutt.
This episode is brought to you by Fast Simon, a leader in AI-powered shopping optimization for Shopify merchants. You can now engage your customers, boost your sales, and uplift your average order value with advanced search, personalization, merchandising, and discovery functionalities. As a Shopify merchant, you need the best-of-breed apps to differentiate and thrive in today's e-commerce landscape. Fast Simon has designed its platform with scalable infrastructure and customization in mind. Their new React UI component library simplifies the integration of AI shopping optimization with headless commerce and custom Shopify e-commerce storefronts. The new library can allow you to increase conversions through speed and AI of its shopping optimization platform, including merchandising, smart collections, search, personalization, visual discovery, cross-selling, upselling, and you name it, all with a few lines of code. As a Shopify merchant, Fast Simon understands your needs and offers multiple store views within the same dashboard, copy settings between stores, manage production, staging, and development stores, role-based access controls, and most importantly, they have 24/7 world-class support. Now, Fast Simon has powerful features tailored to the needs of Shopify brands. You can now address your audience's buying intent across different points in the customer journey. Whether your shoppers are browsing or if they have a clear intent to buy, get the tools to move your first-time visitors towards making a purchase by offering a unique buying experience through personalization and visual discovery. Fast Simon has also partnered up with Shopify's point-of-sale system, which is actually fantastic for those retailers listening today with an online store and traditional brick-and-mortar locations, or even a pop-up shop. They also play nice in the ecosystem partners like Klaviyo, Yotpo, Stamped, Facebook, Instagram, so much more. You can even pull unlimited data from about anything in your online store and utilize it in your marketing tech stack. The more data you integrate, the more audience insights and personalization possibilities that you'll discover. Thousands of e-commerce merchants and agencies trust Fast Simon as they are a member of the Shopify Plus certified app program. You'll get great results, maximum flexibility, and unrivaled time to market. And right now, Fast Simon is offering a 14-day free trial for all my listeners. This also includes 30% off for the first 3 months. So check out their website at fastsimon.com. And to take advantage of my listener-only discount and free trial, head on over to ecommercefastlane.com/Fast Simon. This is the only app you will need for all of your shopping optimization needs. So go check them out, fastsimon.com. Well, hey there, it's Steve, and welcome back to the E-commerce Fastlane podcast. Now, if this is your first time listening, this is an e-commerce show where we have honest and transparent conversations about building and thriving with your store powered by Shopify or Shopify Plus. If you're an ambitious, lifelong learner, which you probably are since you're here today, you're definitely in the right place. Now, new episodes are available twice weekly with your favorite podcast players like Apple Podcast, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, and many more. You can also stream current episodes, including a very relevant back catalog. I think we're up to 207, 8-ish episodes. There's a lot of great partners in the Shopify ecosystem. Had a great opportunity to be able to interview them, and a lot of great offers available at ecommercefastlane.com. So go check that out. Now, in today's episode, my guest is Kobe, who is the product manager of a company called Be Profit. And what they are is they're a profit calculator app, and they connect to your Shopify store, and they really help sellers just to keep track of business finances and optimizing their profits. It's very unique because inside the Shopify admin, there's lots of reporting and lots of connections maybe to some third-party tools to maybe help with, doing some bookkeeping and some journal entries and, maybe even helping an accountant at the end doing a notice to reader to understand the profitability. But what's unique about this particular application is this is real time and dynamic and taking in all the costs everything that's going on inside your Shopify admin. But on top of that, it also connects to a lot of where your expenses are happening through a lot of the ad networks, like think the social media networks and things like that. So it's pretty interesting how it all brings it in together as a source of truth. We're going to learn a lot. I thought this was a great timing. We're kind of pre-BFCM right now. So I'm thinking this is a great opportunity to think about, how do I connect my store? How do I really truly understand the profitability? Because I think what's happening, there's a lot of discounts, a lot of different things happening, and the acquisition costs seem to be rising. And so knowing that, it's kind of a delicate balance. Like, how do I have a very profitable BFCM and holiday season this year? The nice thing about Be Profit is it actually helps you understand that in real time. So let's welcome Kobe to E-commerce Fastlane.
Hey, Steve, great to be here. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. And thank you very much. Being in Tel Aviv, I know your time zones are a bit opposite to where I am in Vancouver in British Columbia, but where there's talent and where there's great applications to help Shopify brands, I want to make sure I get these people on the show to share their opportunity. And so let's talk a little bit on a high level first. I have a few questions here that I really want to dig into the platform. I've had the opportunity to have a demo. Brand I know is currently using it, and they're very excited kind of their journey with the solution. But let's just talk on a high level first about the problem that the platform is solving for Shopify store owners.
Sure thing. So as Steve mentioned a little earlier, Be Profit is a profit calculator. On a wider level, it is an analytics platform to help you merchants, run your shop, understand your profitability, understand your performance in many different ways. So on a very high level, Be Profit provides online sellers with what we call an all-in-one analytics dashboard to keep track of everything finance related. So as data streams from different sources, you have your ad platforms, you have Shopify, maybe you have some other kinds of integration or sources of costs, and Be Profit will help you stay on track with your expenses and your profits in real time. We employ friendly visuals, graphs, charts, anything to help make the data more easier to understand. And we provide insights that translate into profits, like your most profitable items, marketing performance, cohort analysis, and much more.
So tell me a little bit about the founder's journey. It's always interesting to me why people build what they build. And I say it a lot on this show, but it's a lot more than, hey, I just want monthly recurring revenue out of a SaaS product. It's way, way, way more than that. Based on the depth of this product, I know you've been around for quite a few years, newish in the Shopify world, but larger on other platforms. And so I'm glad that you've kind of put your flag in the sand, so to speak, and are really kind of showing what can be done with the Shopify connection to Be Profit. But I just would love to understand the journey of the founders. Like, what do you believe, being part of the organization, like what do you believe uniquely positions the founding team on a couple of points? Number one, the desire. Number two, the expertise to even create this platform.
That's a great question, Steve. So as you said, the company has been around for a little while. It actually started about 6 years ago as a company named Become. Become is still active, by the way. It's a lending marketplace for small and medium businesses. It's founded by a very solid group of founders. A lot of them are still with the company today. Great serial entrepreneurs with a solid background in performance marketing. And we ran the lending marketplace for a good few years. And in the wake of COVID, almost 2 years ago now, our business, we realized we need to pivot and focus our efforts on developing something else. And, we all put our minds together, the founders along with the employees at the time, and decided that the way to go would be e-commerce because, Steve, you know very well, and I'm sure many of the listeners do, that as soon as COVID started, you could already see the impact on e-commerce. And it was a very positive impact, of course. So we understood this is a wave we want to join, and we set about developing Be Profit. Be Profit, initially it was a Shopify app. Today we offer it on other platforms, but Shopify will always be our main and original platform. And the goal was to bring online store owners a powerful, efficient, and very accurate set of tools. That is our goal, to simplify the way that you guys track and analyze your profits and expenses. And, it didn't take a long time after we started building Be Profit. We soon began to understand the potential, of how much we can expand the app. The feedback from users led us in so many different directions. You start, just like with any business, you start with something in mind, and then you start getting feedback, and you start learning more about the industry and learning more about the app and the capabilities. And, it just started expanding the features and functionality, and we're continuously trying to make it more useful.
Yeah. Something I love about the solution is they really give like a daily snapshot of kind of profit and margins and sales and orders and costs and things. Once you get everything kind of the original onboarding gets into the application, it really does allow the operator, whoever that person may be, it could be, someone director of e-commerce, it could be even the founder of the company or someone in the financial capacity in a brand, but having a kind of a daily snapshot, like right from within the tool is very interesting to see, like what happened yesterday and then all the filters and things. Because I have firsthand knowledge as I've been playing with the tool, but can you expand a little bit about what sort of things people can find when they're inside the app?
For sure. So as you mentioned, the Daily Snapshot, a very popular tool among our users. It enables you to see your performance metrics from yesterday or today, and today is still ongoing, so it constantly refreshes, which is very cool. We see a lot of users checking the app out on their phone throughout the day. They just log in, quickly check their snapshot of today's sales, log back out, check back in a few hours later. So the snapshot is definitely a very cool and useful tool. And, it's just the tip of the iceberg in BeProfit because the snapshot just shows you today or yesterday's data. But BeProfit is able to display your data from the day that your shop started. And by the way, if you have multiple shops, you can add them all to the same account, even combine, aggregate your data into a multi-shop kind of dashboard. So very cool. And among our many features, we try to really simplify it all because we know that it's so easy to get lost in vast amounts of data. One of the reasons we decided to go for this kind of product is because we spoke to e-commerce sellers. And a lot of people were using, these Google Sheets with endless amounts of tabs. and they had a tab for their shipping costs and their production costs and their revenue. And they were trying all these complex functions, which is, it's great to know how to do these functions on Google Sheets, but it's not the most efficient way to work. So we really try to simplify everything with intuitive charts, tables, to help you focus on the key metrics in your complex data. And we use automated integrations and anything we can do to simplify your work. So we don't want you to do anything manual as much as possible. So anything that you see on BeProfit, we first try to automate it, and if we can't, then we set up a very easy to use wizard to help you do things manually. And that's really one of our main goals, is to help you understand your data in a simple way.
I love that. I love the multi-store connection. I mean, with Shopify's announcements and rollout plans that are happening right now with Shopify markets, and just the fact that there's opportunity here for a multi-store and internationalization. Think, duties, taxes, currencies. There's lots of things to think about when it comes to international selling. That's what a lot of American brands are trying. How do I get into Canada? And how do I get into the EU or get into Australia, get into the APAC region? It's interesting. And I have a lot of brands that are in that mode right now where they want to expand out. I love the fact that you're able to kind of put all of these shops together, because on the plus side of Shopify, you're allowed up to 10 expansion stores included with your contract. So imagine having a .ca or a .co.uk or an Australian store. Pretty easy to spin these guys up. You could have on the ground, you could have local 3PLs that could fulfill the orders, or you can just choose to ship internationally, like right from America or right from Canada, and have the duties and taxes show in the cart. But I just love the fact they all aggregate in together individually or separate. And then you can really think about the exact profitability by country and start to figure out, well, what's working well in other different markets. It really does give you a full kind of 40,000 foot view, but then you still can drill down.
For sure. And, you mentioned the international aspect of e-commerce, which is, of course, a major aspect, the flexibility that you have being able to, for example, be located in the US, but have stores that are selling all over the world. So one of our goals initially with BeProfit was to be able to support this aspect of e-commerce. And I think we've done a pretty good job. Other than the multi-shop dashboard, which is able to convert the different currencies of all your shops into one currency so you can actually aggregate it. We also have so many different features across the app where you can have, for example, a Facebook account in euros, and then your shop is in dollars, and we will convert the euro account from Facebook into dollars in order for you to be able to calculate your profit. And this all happens extremely accurately. It's not like we're taking, your last month of Facebook spend and using today's exchange rate. This happens based on the real-time exchange rate throughout the history of your shop. So you're going to get extremely accurate calculations in the app. And, this was very, very important to us because we know if you're a serious seller and, you download a platform like BeProfit, you want to see accurate information. The second you see something that doesn't feel right, you're probably going to stop using the platform.
I'm going to pivot a bit over to other technology partners kind of in the Shopify world. A lot of times when I do recommend a certain platform or certain app, some of the pushback from the beginning is that, do you play nice with other pieces of technology that are just part of their workflow? So, when I go to the Be Profit website, I see that, you have a lot of technology partners that you're currently aligned with. A lot of brands are using today. So just maybe you can kind of unpack that a bit and just kind of talk about the mindset around how Be Profit is very intentional on kind of how they work with other pieces of technology that a brand may have.
Sure. So as I mentioned earlier, ad integrations are a major plus with Be Profit. So we know that any Shopify seller is probably advertising on at least, one or two of the major ad platforms. If it's Facebook and Google, we also support Snapchat, Pinterest, Bing, and TikTok, which have been up and coming for a while now. So first of all, you download Be Profit, you can rest assured that you're going to be able to simply connect to all of these platforms and pull in your costs, your ad spend. And I think this is a major factor for any seller because, as we all know, one of the biggest expenses, if not the biggest, for anyone selling online is ad spend today. So we really try to emphasize the importance of the ad spend and getting it accurate and up to date. So we constantly pull and refresh the data from all of your platforms, and it should be fully synced at all times, particularly in the daily snapshot, which people always want to see the most up-to-date information in. But other than the ad platforms, we are actively working on integrating with a whole bunch of shipping providers. There's so many of them on Shopify, for example. I'm just going to name drop a few like ShipStation and ShipBob, ShipHero, and a whole bunch of other great services. So we are actively working right now on integrating with these shipping services. And then once you download Be Profit, just like you can connect your Facebook account, you'll be able to connect your shipping provider account, and we will sync your shipping costs as well. So trying to, combine Be Profit with the power of third-party apps is extremely important to us. And once you go on Be Profit, you'll also see different partnerships that we have. We actually recommend different services, for different solutions for your shop that aren't necessarily profit-related. So we have a wide network of partners, and you can check them all out through the app. No strings attached.
Yeah, I've actually interviewed a lot of these founders. Reconvert recently with the kind of thank you page, and Pagefly's been on, Mesa from the ShopPad, a group of people, GrowWave's been on, like a lot of these ones have been on. So this is great to see that you're aligning yourself with that, and the fact that some are profit generating tools, but others are not. And it's just nice that you're seeing the full scope of kind of what brands might be doing. I appreciate that. The other thing that I think is interesting too is you might want to consider Shopify's fulfillment network too as another option, because ShipBob and ShipHero definitely are kind of connections for direct to consumer. And I think SFN we call, but Shopify's fulfillment network is really growing with our purchase of 6 River Systems and all those robots and things like that. It's pretty amazing the amount of brands that are making the flip to Shopify's side of the fulfillment network. So it's pretty neat.
For sure. Definitely on our radar as well.
Beautiful. So I want to talk a bit about your solution, but as it relates to competition, I feel that like where there's competition, there's business, number one. I also believe there's other quote unquote kind of analytics and potentially profit calculating solutions. I think if you can go to the Shopify App Store or Google search, I'm sure it's going to reveal some notable partners out there. But I know that Be Profit has been a little bit intentional to kind of differentiate from others in the Shopify ecosystem. So are you able to talk a little bit about what's the unique about your particular application as it relates to others in the marketplace?
Sure. So when we started Be Profit about a year ago, of course, we did our market research and competitor analysis, and we saw plenty of fantastic services, I have to say, whether they're listed on the Shopify App Store or, they're external platforms that you connect your Shopify store to. And we understood that in order to compete in this space, we're going to have to differentiate ourselves, as you said, Steve. And we chose 4 points on which we really tried to differentiate ourselves. Some of them I've already mentioned earlier, so I'll just quickly review them. But 4 major points. The first one is accuracy. As I said, accuracy extremely important because anyone downloading a service, particularly when you pay for one, you want to know that the data is accurate. I don't want to be paying for something that's giving me wrong data, leading to wrong insights, and then wrong actions on my end. Right? I don't want to be thrown off.
Right.
So in order to create this sense of accuracy and real accuracy, we have 2 different ways that we go about it. The first is the automation that I mentioned, because once you automate something and we're pulling, for example, your ad spend data directly from the source, there's no way that it can be wrong. We're not asking you to manually input how much you spent on Facebook yesterday or how much you spent on TikTok, and then there's no room for human error. On the other hand, the flip side of that is we try to enable as much flexibility as possible across the app because, as I said, for example, with shipping, today BeProfit doesn't offer shipping integrations. We're hard at work on bringing in these integrations, but today, in order to set up your shipping costs, it's a manual process. But in order to try and avoid mistakes and have the data as accurate as possible, we try to make this manual process extremely flexible. So for example, you can set up shipping costs as fixed costs. You can set them up based on order prices and product weights. You can set them up based on a number of items per order, so many different options and a lot of flexibility. And at the end of all of this, you can go per order and tweak them. If there's a specific order where you gave someone some kind of discount or you paid your supplier a little more than usual, you can tweak your numbers per order and get a fully accurate depiction of your profit, which is extremely, extremely important. The number 2 goal that we set for ourselves to differentiate ourselves from the competition is anything to do with marketing. So that starts with our multi-platform support, which compared to other solutions on Shopify, I do believe that we offer the best ad platform integration service. So, any of the 6 major platforms are your go-to for advertising online. You will be able to find them on BeProfit. So, a lot of our competitors offer just Facebook and Google, for example, or maybe Facebook, Google, and Snapchat. So that's another way we try to differentiate ourselves. And other than the integrations themselves, once you dive into the app, you'll see the vast variety of marketing analytics that we offer. You're able to see on BeProfit using UTM attribution, you're able to see your return on ad spend per platform, for example, or even per campaign and per ad. And a lot of marketing analytics, which we don't really have time to get into on the podcast, but you're welcome to try it out on the app. And that connects to my second point, which is our sophisticated Roas and marketing analysis, which starts from, comparing the different platforms to each other, but it really leads to comparing different groups of customers to each other. Because especially, we're getting close to the holiday season. And what you typically see in e-commerce is that around November, December, even January, you see this huge peak in sales, right? Makes sense. And a lot of shops try different marketing campaigns around this time. They spend a lot more. They're hoping to see a bigger return in exchange. And it's very, very interesting to try and look back at your shop's history, look at prior holiday seasons and see how they compare, how the performance of the customers that you brought in, for example, in a Black Friday sale compares to other groups of customers. You want to see if your efforts were worth it. And the way to see this is to compare the value of these different groups of customers. So, using BeProfit, we offer something called Cohort Analysis. Cohort, for anyone who doesn't know, is a group of customers. So you can compare, for example, customers that arrived in a holiday season versus customers who arrived mid-year, made their first purchase, for example, in June, and see the return on ad spend that you made from each of these groups, or see the lifetime value of each of these groups. And that is a very sophisticated and interesting tool which, any kind of shop owner who wants to dive deep into their data needs to fully understand and employ. And the last point I want to quickly go over that we really think differentiates ourselves from the competition is our customer service. And, a lot of brands say that they have great customer service. We have the numbers to prove it. Check out BeProfit on the Shopify App Store and you'll see our 4.9 star rating. You'll see around 200 5-star reviews, and we're very proud of this. We really work hard in order to supply fantastic customer service to our users because, as I said earlier, a lot of our best features originated from user feedback, and a lot of the success of the app so far we really attribute to our user base. And we know that if we treat our users well, then we will make a whole lot more money in the future from their assistance. The company will be extremely successful if we have an ear open to our user base and we try and supply the users what they need and what they want.
What's interesting, when I went to the App Store this morning, there was one review that just happened recently, and his comment was, brilliant app, has a ton of features enabling you to make strategic decisions with your business with confidence. Support is also the best I've ever had experience with any app in Shopify. Fast responses. They will apply improvements from your suggestions seemingly overnight. night. And it seems like every single time someone's doing a post, like some kind of a review, you're in there right away, giving feedback and thanking them for the review. So it's very clear, because I look at a lot of other app partners and they're not as intentional to saying, no, all customer feedback is needed, positive or negative. If there's frustrations in our tool, great. I want to hear about it because I want to fix it. If you're happy about something, how can we enhance it even further? And so I just appreciate the fact that that's what you're doing in here. And it's a very clear sentiment of how people love your solution. There's a lot of positive feedback. So I really appreciate that.
For sure. And we've had our share of negative feedback in the past. I'll even say we've had a whole bunch of 1-star reviews, of frustrated users who weren't able to figure out a feature. It wasn't intuitive enough, or they didn't get what they needed. And thanks to our customer service team, we were able to help these users, and the users were happy, and they just decided to take down their 1-star reviews. Yeah. And some of them even changed it to 5 stars. I know. And when you see a turnaround like that makes you feel really good. I'm talking as a product manager, but anyone here at the company, we love making our users happy. It's the best feeling.
So you mentioned we're in Q4 right now. The holiday season is definitely just around the corner. I'd argue a lot of brands now are even offering kind of VIP treatments to a lot of their cohorts of customers that are the best customers, and giving them a special limited preview and be able to buy the BFCM pricing now. I think the share of wallet is only so big, and to kind of capture these sales and get these products shipped out now is an interesting angle that some brands are employing now. They're saying, why wait till BFCM time? And then everybody's slammed for fulfillment, and we're on the flip side, people are starting early. And so I just would love to understand from your perspective, just because you have direct access, you see the data of your customers that are connected to your platform. Is there anything specifically that you're recommending around this holiday season? This inevitable rush is happening for sure, and I think it's starting early. I just would like to figure out, if you add the BeProfit app, will it assist brands in their goals over this holiday season?
Sure. It really feels like the rush starts earlier every year, Steve.
It does.
It's incredible. Wild. It started off as one day, then it's a weekend, suddenly it's a whole month. And the next thing we know, we're going to be talking about the holiday season, 2 months earlier. So, look, at the end of the day, I think the most important thing to do in preparation for the holiday season is look at your history. Try and analyze what went well in the past, what kind of ad campaigns succeeded, which ones failed, what was the target audience for each one of these campaigns. A lot of shops, they play around with ad campaigns over time. They try different things. Inevitably, some are going to succeed and some are going to fail. So the best thing to do is to try and look back, if you're an older shop, you've been around for a while, look back at previous holiday seasons. If not, try and ask friends, look at your own performance throughout the year. And try and get a real picture of what type of campaigns, ads, ad sets, anything that has to do with your marketing efforts worked. And I think what's cool about BeProfit is this is extremely simple to do. Because as I mentioned earlier in our marketing section, you can drill down per platform and compare the performance of your different campaigns and ads very, very easily. The system automatically calculates the return on your ad spend per each of these entities. It compares your profit that you made and the conversion rate, and you can look at this from the ad level up to the campaign and then all the way up to the platform. So for example, if you're advertising on 4 different platforms this year, and because you heard other podcasts or videos that said you got to increase your spend for the holiday season because you're going to make higher multiples, and don't keep spending, don't keep a flat spend throughout Q4, you got to increase your spend and your ROAS will increase, but you don't know where to increase it. Am I increasing my spend on all of my campaigns? Am I looking at a specific platform? So there are so many questions. Even if you know what you need to do, you need to understand how to do it. So BeProfit will help you with that. You got to be able to compare your different platforms and focus on only the campaigns that really work, only the platforms that really work, and that's where you spend the bulk of your holiday season investments, okay? And that really increases your chances of success. At the end of Q4, you'll look back and say, okay, I made the right call with this one.
Absolutely. I'll add one more little tidbit that I've been sharing with the brands that I manage too, is that if you have flows set up either through SMS or through email, and let's say you have some automation too for cart recovery or browse recovery, you need to change all the messaging in those solutions certainly over the BFCM time, just because it is a very short window of like 3 or 4 days of massive sales that are happening. And so obviously your cart recovery sequence, can't go off on the typical the next day and 2 days later and all that. Like you have to really change the cadence and the language around the hype that goes along with BFCM. Even though I know we're shopping early and we're trying to get as much kind of revenue as quickly as we can kind of pre-BFCM and kind of trying to, dangle the carrot a bit that the prices aren't going to be lower. Okay, fair enough. But also on top of that, change your cadence in Klaviyo or Omnisend or whatever kind of automation tool you're using for marketing to make sure that you're, just aligned with the expectations of the buying population, right, over that time period.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's pivot to a story now, because I think, a lot of people are entrepreneurs or marketers, people that are listening to this podcast or founders and stuff like that. And I think it's the education, and I think it's inspiring, to be honest with you, when you hear a story of another brand that's kind of made a decision maybe to use a solution. So hopefully I don't put you on the spot here, but it would be great if you could kind of maybe share like a recent story of a Shopify brand. Maybe they didn't have BeProfit installed. They somehow found you. How, I'm not sure, doing a search and wherever. They found BeProfit, they've installed it, and then, what happened on the other side by using the platform. So I'll kind of pass the torch over to you.
Sure. So, Steve, as you said, stories are powerful. And as a small company, a growing company, we really were on the lookout for these stories, these narratives that show that our profit app is really working. At the end of the day, the goal of a profitability app is to increase the user's profit. That's the end game. So we were very happy to get contacted by one of our users. Her name is Lisbeth, and she has a store, a very cool baby clothes store called Auto Il Basotto. And, she found us just on a search. She was searching for a profitability app on Shopify, and she decided to try us out. And, the reason she did this is because her store was growing, and she realized her data was getting a little bit out of control. And I'm sure a lot of the listeners here can identify with Lisbeth in this case, because you start out small, and suddenly you're starting to see some success, some sales, and you grow, and suddenly, the data analytics tools, if you were even using any, a lot of people, as I said earlier, you just start out using Google Sheets tracking your orders, and things start to spiral out of control a bit. It's great because you're successful, but now you need to be on top of things. And Lisbeth was in that situation. She decided she needed to find a tool to help her make data-driven decisions, to help her identify customers who would return and buy future collections. So she was trying to increase her repurchase rate. And she also knew that she needed to stay on top of things in order to stay successful. Being successful initially in your initiative isn't always enough. You need to try and tweak and add new products and understand what's working in order to duplicate it down the line and stay competitive in your field. So she searched for a tool and she found us, and we were very happy to help her out. Our support team, she's one of the earlier customers that mentioned that it's her favorite feature of the app.
All right.
Which hopefully is true for any of our customers, is that they know that they have a helping hand when they need it. So, Lisbeth, she told us that the app has saved her time. It's helped her arrive at profitability insights, which she wouldn't have reached, manually or otherwise using any other tools. And at the end of the day, it helped her understand her profitability and help her make more money down the line. That's anyone's goal here. So we're very proud of the story. We were very happy to help Lisbeth, and hopefully we have many more of these success stories down the line.
I just actually did a quick search on your website too, and I have a link to the full story, it looks like. So I'm going to put this in the show notes. So this is great. So you have a TLDR right now, but yeah, really want to read the whole story of what they did and just the application of the tool and kind of just the profitability side of it. It's pretty amazing, the insights that are generated from me skimming it right now while you were speaking. So it's pretty cool. Thank you for that.
Of course. Thanks, Lisbeth, for the story.
Yes, we will thank her. We'll give her some shout outs for sure on this show and on the show notes. We are nearing the end of the show for today, but I just would like to understand a little more about the future of the solution. I mean, you mentioned that, at the beginning there was some frustrations, but just having an ear to the ground and getting that flywheel going of like, hey, and just it's a nonstop iterative process, and you're at a certain level now where I know you're creating a lot of impact for a lot of brands, but I just would curious to understand, where is the tool headed for 22 and beyond? Is there more partner alignment or any other innovation? Just end of the day, just nice to share with the audience today about like how is the solution going to continue to offer value and assistance for Shopify brands?
Sure. As I said in the beginning, we started off from Shopify, We are a proud Shopify app. And, down the line, we want to be available to any e-commerce seller. That's the goal. We want to be a wide platform. No matter what kind of platform you're using to sell your products, we should be able to integrate with you and help you understand your profitability. So over time, we have added the app to Wix stores, and in addition to WooCommerce. And we are currently working on integrating with Amazon as well. So, a lot of sellers, they sell on Shopify and they also sell on Amazon. So hopefully we'll be able to support that within the next few months by the beginning of 2022. And then, whatever platform you're selling on, BeProfit can be your go-to solution. And of course, we're always adding new features to the app, many of them user-generated, based on user requests, some of them based on our own brainstorming here at BeProfit. And some of the major ones coming up are the shipping integrations I mentioned earlier, a more advanced cohort analysis to help you understand more different kinds of cohorts. You can try and divide your customers by the first product they purchased, for example, or customers who came with a specific discount code, or customers that arrived from different marketing platforms. There are so many insights that cohort analysis can help you reach, and we are always trying to make it a more and more advanced tool to help you guys reach those insights easily. And a very cool feature that actually we've discussed in the past, Steve, is user permissions. So we know that a lot of successful stores, it's not just one person, you have a team, and you want to have your team be able to access your shop, and maybe some of your employees who want to see specific sections of it, or you have partners who need admin permissions. So we're setting up a whole user permission system to enable you to add multiple users who can access the same shop with different credentials and different permissions. And that'll be a really cool tool for bigger stores with big teams.
That happens quite a bit. It was one of the comments I made recently with, once again, the brands I manage, about having the sign-on abilities to be able to get a text message and say, hey, you can log in, but you don't want anybody to kind of guess your password. But then once you're logged in, a quick code kind of sends to your phone just to kind of double verify that with that second verification. So this is good that you're working on that, just giving a select view to certain types of users. Maybe they need view only of certain types of reporting. And I think that's pretty powerful to be able to have that access to the platform. So I appreciate that. So how can people learn more about the solution? Like, where do you want to direct some of our traffic today to learn more?
So you can check out our homepage at beprofit.co.co. And on that homepage, you'll be able to read more about the solution. You can create an account and connect your shop. You can check out our success story that we mentioned earlier, and a lot of different reviews about the app. If you prefer, you can search for the app on Shopify. So simply log on to your Shopify account, go to the App Store and search for BeProfit. You'll find us. You'll also find a whole bunch of our competitors. Just make sure you click on the right app.
Yeah.
And you can Google us. There's a lot of content about BeProfit. Different websites have written about us over the past year. So just search BeProfit on Google. You'll be able to see different review systems that we appear on, maybe some articles about BeProfit, a whole bunch of different content to help you understand more about our solution.
Yeah, I will put all of this in the show notes for sure. And I understand that you would like to share an offer. I mean, the first part that I know right away is there's a 7-day free trial available. So you can literally add the app and kind of see the onboarding process and kind of take a look at some out of the box kind of solutions that are available right away and follow through some of their onboarding process. But I understand that you'd like to, for those that maybe love the solution, say, hey, you know what? I see this could be great for my workflow. This could make an impact on my brand. What's the next step for a listener-only bonus?
So we have a code, EF15. I'm sure we can also share that in text form. Simply log on, create an account with BeProfit. You will be prompted to enter a discount code. You enter EF15 and you will get 15% off your paid plan at BeProfit. And this is 15% off for life. So it's not just your first month or your first 3 months or anything like that. 50% off BeProfit for life. You can check out our different plans. We have different plans at different price points depending on your needs. So if you don't need the most sophisticated tools, there's a solution for you. If you're a huge shop and you need the full breadth of BeProfit, then there's a plan for that. no matter what plan you choose, 15% off using the code EF15.
Yeah. And it is very affordable. I might add that as a side note based on today's recording. But the free plan is available, some core features for people just getting used to the solution, for up to maybe 30 orders. And then as you start scaling up, $25 a month. The Pro plan, which is one of their more popular ones, $50 a month. And then the Ultimate plan, which is, a full control, full access to everything for $100 a month. So it's very, very affordable for the solution based on the power of what it gives you in the end with this LTV analysis and then, the UTM tool and, profit and loss reporting. And then I just love the fact that you're pushing reports directly to people as needed. And I really appreciate that, because I think what happens is sometimes things start happening to a brand and it's a little too late sometimes when they get notifications about a drop in something and some kind of alerts. But if every day there's a pushed report based on important kind of KPIs for the brand, profitability, things that are important, then you can kind of action those quickly knowing that fact. So I really appreciate that feature.
Thanks, Steve. And I'll also add 2 more quick points about our pricing. First of all, no matter which plan you choose, you got a 7-day free trial, no strings attached. You can try out the app. You can also try out the different plans and see if you like specific features on each one of the plans. And the second thing is, if you like the app after your trial, you can commit to an annual plan and you'll get 20% off on top of the 15% off that you're already getting. And that's simply for an annual plan. So, we love having users who are sticking around for a long time, because we know that we can get feedback, and it's great to know that users are with us for the long run. So we're happy to give this discount to anyone who wants to do an annual plan, who likes BeProfit and sees themselves using it over the long term. 20% off of that as well.
Beautiful. Well, Kobe, thank you so much for coming on the show today. And you probably know this, but Shopify's mission really is to make commerce better for everyone. And it's very clear that the BeProfit app really is also helping Shopify brands really to, I'd say, improve efficiencies for sure. You're definitely able to grow revenue because you understand the profitability of cohorts and you're able to make kind of intelligent, kind of data-driven decisions. And I do really appreciate that. At the end of the day, that really builds this kind of lifetime customer loyalty with your brand. And so it sounds like you have a great solution. Like I said, hundreds of people have given some positive feedback. And I really appreciate the fact that you're kind of in the Shopify world now. You're here to help people grow and scale. And I just appreciate your knowledge and your vision and just kind of giving back to the ecosystem.
I really appreciate the chance to hop on the podcast with you, Steve, and discuss this all with your audience.
Well, have yourself a great day.
Thank you very much. You too.
All right, take care. This episode is brought to you by Fast Simon, a leader in AI-powered shopping optimization. Its revolutionary platform uniquely integrates shopper, behavioral, and store signals for an e-commerce search, strategic merchandising, and optimized shopping experiences that dramatically increase conversions and average order value. Engage your customers, boost your e-commerce sales, and uplift your average order value with advanced search and merchandising functionalities. And as I mentioned, right now, Fast Simon is offering a 14-day free trial for all my listeners. This also includes a special bonus of 30% off for the first 3 months. So go check out their website, fastsimon.com, and to take advantage of these offers, my listener-only bonus and free trials, head on over to ecommercefastlane.com/FastSimon. Well, that's it for today's episode. I'd like to thank you, a loyal listener of E-commerce Fastlane. It's my hope that this podcast is offering you a ton of value through growth strategies, tactics, and exclusive insider tips on the best Shopify apps and marketing platforms, all with my personal goal to help you build, launch, grow, and scale with Shopify. Thanks for investing some time today and listening to the show. I'm so proud and excited that you have a growth mindset and are a constant learner. I truly appreciate you and your entrepreneurial journey. Enjoy the rest of the week and keep thriving with Shopify.